Yo, ho, ho. I couldn't wait for the other, I don't know what was left, like 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Absolutely hyped. Absolutely hyped. I know that I've been back on YouTube. I know that I've been putting out like regular videos, but I've missed these live streams. Okay. And they're back, baby. They are back. All right. That's including AFC East Roundtable. Spoiler alert, that is coming back tomorrow night on TD's channel. And we have a huge announcement about where you're going to be able to watch all of the episodes throughout the remainder of the year. And then also my regular live streams. I was planning on like just sort of doing a video of like all of the main storylines of the training camp so far, but I figured, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to go on ahead and I'm going to hop on here and I'm going to talk to my boys, bro. I'm going to talk to my boys. All right. We have Brett, my guy, dude. Long time no talk. Hey, yo, Dan, let's get this live stream going. I did, man. I was getting impatient. I couldn't do it. Mason, Finn's fan here. What's going on, man? What's going on? I'm sure that you guys are. Y'all ended up signing who? That receiver. He's like bounced around. Sanu. Y'all just ended up signing Sanu. I want to see. So now it's going to be Sanu, Waddle, and then Tyreek Hill with quote unquote the most accurate QB in the league. No offense, but I mean, say that the Dolphins were to pay me that much money, I would literally call Nathan Peterman the second coming. But super excited to see the rivalry continue. But as always, I see the Bills completely sweeping the AFC East this year. Jason says, Dan, glad to see you're doing a stream. Dude, me too, bro. Me too. I definitely missed the whole stream life. I'm going to get back to it. I'm thinking like Tuesdays are going to be a solid Q&A time. And then obviously once the season starts rolling around, live game reactions as well. I see a little bit of Bills, Miami trash talk. Always welcome here. Go troll Pat's lives. Mason says, I literally said the Bills own us. That is true. Will. Yes. Rousseau breakout season confirmed. In fact, out of the first couple of days, I was looking into it, and there was reports. And I mean, I'm actually curious if anybody is at training camp currently, or they attended the first day or two. But there were several plays where, let me backtrack for a second. Our defense has been shining. Our defense has been absolutely shining. Von Miller, of course, has still been showing speed at his age, like around the edge. And then there was a couple of plays I heard that Rousseau ended up making a great play. I'm pretty sure a tackle of a loss. It was either against Barkley or it was against Keenum, one of the two. But yeah, man, I mean, I think that once you get the momentum of his second year going in, like all of those lessons he learned in his rookie year, and now enter Von Miller, an absolute seasoned edge rusher, I would not be surprised whatsoever if he actually has a tremendous impact. As far as defensive line, who I really, really, really see having an absolute monster year, we're talking Ed Oliver, dude. I'm talking Pro Bowl year for Ed Oliver this year, 110%. Our defensive line woes are going to be a thing of the past, man. I think our defense is going to be an absolute unit. And as much as I love our offense, and I still think that we're going to finish top 2 in overall production on the offense level, there is no question that I think that we are going to be the number 1 defense this year as well. I mean, if you just look at our roster, I mean, we have like the Frankenstein of the NFL, like the perfect combination of talent. Very, very few holes. Let me see what else we got. We have a little bit more trash talk, AFC's trash talk up in here. Always a good thing. Cameron comes in. What's up, Dan? How many sacks do you think the Bills D will have this season? I think it'll be over 50. Cam, I really think once you end up adding a threat like Von Miller, even if he isn't the same as he was a couple of years ago, I think that that's going to open up a lot of opportunities. I'm really curious to see, now that Star is no longer here, how exactly that true like one tech DT is going to be able to sort of fill in his shoes. But I really see production. I really see production coming out of this defensive line. We have a hell of a lot of depth. I think our edge and rush attack against the QB is going to be amazing. And I have a feeling that our secondary is really going to go on ahead and really make the quarterback think twice about letting the ball go. I mean, you read reports about our secondary absolutely thriving in training camp already. I think a lot of that has to do with the pressure that the defensive line has already gone 50. I could definitely see that being realistic. We got D. Raleigh coming in. Wow, Dan. And so you got any suggestions on where to watch Bills games if you don't live in Buffalo anymore? Okay, I'm about to give you a hack, okay? NFL Sunday Ticket, okay? If you don't have DirecTV, they let you buy the student package, which I'm pretty sure it's about $34, $35 a month. Super affordable. I mean, I would just not go out to the bar once a month, right? And then that's going to be the funds for you. But the kicker is that you could actually get NFL Sunday Ticket without DirecTV, but you need to have a student email, and they verify it whether or not that's an active student email. Doesn't need to be yours, but normally what I do is I just hit up my cousin who's currently in college, and then I typically just use his email so I can get access to it, and then I pay. That is always good. And then secondarily, I always recommend looking into all the Bills Backers bar in your area. I'm typically at a Bills Backer bar down in South Carolina. In fact, I've met several of you at that exact bar, which is super, super cool. But there literally are Bills Backers bars within 20 to 30 miles of where you are right now. I can almost guarantee it. Nick Crow comes in and says, if the Bills win the Super Bowl, you got to get Josh Allen's signature on your neck. Oh, like Pollock Dawson and Pollock Dawson Knox. I saw that during training camp where he signed it. Super Bowl, man, I'm not sure if I would get it on my neck. I mean, maybe I would get it right here or something along those lines. Not sure, but yeah, most definitely. I've always been against sports-related tattoos, but if the Bills win the Super Bowl, I'll come up with something. I will definitely come up with something. And really how it comes down to the media, it seems to be that we're the favorite so far. So Dean Fulford says, God, I can't wait for the Finns to beat the Bills. 2027 is a long way away, my friend. David comes in, dude, and so remember when you first started in your little apartment room? Is that a yacht over your left shoulder? No. Not a yacht. It's just a little boat. Full transparency, this is my girlfriend's boat. This is the place where we're staying right now. We're actually looking at a new house. But yes, I do remember humble beginnings, man. I do remember humble beginnings. Crazy. So happy that a lot of us have been sitting down and being a part of Bill's Mafia and really just consuming my content. I really enjoy it, and I'm so pumped to be back, man. I'm so pumped. And now that there's actually things to talk about. But no, not a yacht. It's a little bay liner. It fits 7-8 people. As we whip that bad boy around when we want to. This looks great. Ryan comes in and says, Shakir, wide receiver 4. He's been flashing so far. Yes, and I want to call myself out. Now, listen, when I make a bad take, when I make a shitty take, I'm always the first person on earth to come out and say, Dan, you're an absolute moron. I had Shakir. I know, listen, it is literally tradition where I butcher the pronunciation of a new player on the Bills each and every single year. So bear with me here. But I had him not making the roster. But from what I understand so far, within the first couple of days of training camp, he has been an absolute monster. And it's really interesting, too, because I did want to talk about the whole competition when it came into slot receiver. So with Jamison Crowder, it was almost like a shoo-in prior to training camp starting that he would be taking over Beasley. But he's been out. He hasn't practiced yet, and Isaiah McKenzie has been taking the majority of the reps. And from what I understand and the reports that I've read, he's been absolutely shining. Shakir, where he comes in, not only is he demonstrating that speed, but he also has that gadget ability. Back in college, he was used for several runs. So for the most part, I could really see him taking over that gadget role that McKenzie had for us so many years. So wide receiver 4, not too sure about that, but seeing him make this roster, 1,010%. Last video I said that I had Austin making it over Shakir because I'm still thinking that we're sticking with 6 receivers. I don't see us going in 7. But yeah, most definitely. I could see Shakir definitely making this team and sort of filling in McKenzie's old role. and then with Jamison Crowder and Isaiah McKenzie sort of splitting snaps out of the slot, which should be in, like, there's so many cool formations that they're doing out there, especially with OJ Howard too. I mean, with Howard, great tight end. He's not the best blocker on the face of the planet, but like he'd be more like a Zach Ertz role, right? He'd be like that big bodied receiver, like basically a slot receiver, but he's 6'6" and 240 pounds. So I am absolutely fascinated with how that's going and to see exactly what's going to go down. Hide that one. Chat and Dan. Okay, so Justin comes in. I'll be in Buffalo for the home opener game against the Titans. Who's going? Dude, I mean, I might feel froggy. I might make a last-minute investment. LaShawn comes in, says, Dan, and so you ready for a rematch in Madden? It's been a while since I played, man. I'll be honest with you. I think I haven't played since we've played. But let me practice up a little bit, man, and I'll go ahead and do that. I'm thinking about bringing back the the Madden series where I play the team that we're supposed to play and then live stream that the entire time. I thought that a lot of us enjoyed that last time I did it, so I think I might knock that out. Gabriel comes in and says, what's our backup quarterback situation? God forbid something happens to Josh. Let's go ahead and not put that into the universe. I'm going to knock on wood right here, and let me get the sun out of the way. Okay, that's better. Nothing's going to happen to Josh. Literally just, speaking positivity into the world right now. But, I mean, I think that we're in great shape. I think that Case Keenum is probably one of the best backups in the league right now. Last year's best backup in the entire league, in my opinion, was Mitch Trubisky. Now he's starting for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Case Keenum has proven that he can win. He's been around the league. He already has that chemistry with Stephon Diggs as well. I mean, he was the quarterback that ended up throwing that, was it the Minnesota Miracle, right to Stephon Diggs a couple of years back. So he has that. I think that our backup quarterback situation is absolutely amazing. Do I still see us going 15-2 if Case Keenum were to start the entire year? No, but I still see us winning the AFC East with him. I really, really do. Solid backup. I would almost say that he's not quite as good as Mitch Trubisky as a backup, but I think that we haven't fallen off a cliff by any stretch of the imagination. Watch Cook become RB1. Will, I honestly do not see that outside of the realm of responsibility. From reports that I've read, from what I have seen, where it stands today is that they still want Devin Singletary to be dominating the majority of the carries. And then with Cook sort of just being like that third down back, right? That's basically where I believe the most popular opinion is. But from what I understand, although that there's been no pads in practice already, Cook has been absolutely performing. And I hate to like say this, and I hate to put any weight right into claims such as this, or like me trying to compare him to his older brother, for example. But they asked Stephon Diggs the other day, they're like, and are you seeing any similarities between him and his brother Dalvin? And he goes, absolutely. It's the same explosiveness. It's the same elusiveness. He's going to be an absolute threat in the passing game. He's fast. He can cut. But I want to see what he looks like and how he does, and not only in a real game, but also in pads as well. But I wouldn't be surprised, man. I really, really wouldn't be surprised as well. But then again, I'm hoping that Devin Singletary will be able to sort of perform this year and show us what he did in his first year. So Ali comes in, my dude. It's been a while. And so he seems to think that Cook is a dog. In the next 3 years, he's going to develop into a top 5 running back. Bold claim. And listen, I would not be upset if that was the case. Let's take the need for Josh to have to run. Let's take that need away. And so there's only a few days into camp, and Zach Moss has gotten some praise. Yeah, man. I mean, I'll be honest with you. He's fighting for his job right now, and he knows it. He really, really knows it, man. Really, I think that it's when it comes down into like running backs, I think that it's really going to come down. The competition is going to be Zach Moss and then Duke Johnson. Like, only one of them will make this team. That's the main competition between the two of them. Because in my opinion, I really think that Singletary and Cook are locks for 1 and 2. It's kind of nuts that next week is preseason football, right? It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. I'm thinking about going on ahead and I'm thinking about streaming week 1 just to kind of see how it all kind of plays out. Spencer Reeder comes in right now and he goes, if Saffold is hurt, which he is hurt, he ended up getting in a car accident, I want to say. First off, we have tremendous depth. But let's hope that he's good, because if not, then it's going to be Cody Ford. Yeah. Bates, I know, has played guard before. He's good. But let's just hope that Saffold is good. He is one of the best running. He is one of the best running defenders, but he'll be fine. 1,000%. And then Jordan Simmons, yeah, we did sign him yesterday. He's like more depth, man. He's more depth, and probably just ended up bringing that in for until wanting to see exactly or make some sort of competitive fire for some of the younger guys. I really don't foresee him making that team. Cromer, an absolute great take right there. He is probably one of the best offensive line coaches in the league. He really is. So I'm really excited to see what he can do with some of the guys that are coming back from last year. Yeah. And Nick's coming in here as well. He's saying that the coaches are really mixing it up. It's training camp, right, guys? I really think that they're not going to be putting out their starting formations within the first, because they're really trying to test out some of the guys that are not necessary roster locks. But most of us can probably guess just based off of notoriety and name and longevity with the Bills by itself. So definitely something. Ryan comes in. So what are your thoughts on possible weird formations? And imagine Singletary, Cook, Knox, and Howard on shorter yard situations. That seems almost impossible to stop from the unpredictability alone. Dude, with the amount of gadgets that we have on this team, we're going to be seeing absolutely disgusting formations. Really odd formations, and I can absolutely not wait. I believe that Knox was interviewed the other day, and he was mentioning that rather than 12, that they were running 13s. And that's basically like a 2 tight end formation, by itself. So with Knox and Howard on both sides, having 2 tight ends, taking a page out of the whole Patriots book. Both of them are absolute threats when it comes into the passing game. Knox is a bit better of a blocker, in my opinion. But yeah, dude, it's going to be a defensive coordinator's nightmare to go against the Buffalo Bills, especially the Rams. I am absolutely ready for that Rams game. They have no linebackers. So I have a feeling that Josh Allen just absolutely carved them up in the middle of the field all day. It's going to be unfair. Dude, and as y'all can see, I am so thrilled about this season coming up. It's absolutely disgusting. Looks like Cromer will find out if Ford is a bust or not. He will. He's one of the best coaches in the league when it comes to the offensive line. So we'll see how that plays out. And Josh Allen looks like he has gotten better somehow. Listen, I'm not upset about it. I am not upset about it whatsoever. Gabriel comes in. Dan, what regular season game are you most worried about? What are our toughest games this year? Okay. So I'm probably going to have to say the first game is going to be tough. I mean, we're going up against the defending Super Bowl champs. That's not going to be an easy feat. It's definitely not going to be. There's going to be literally the entire world watching. Nervous about that one. But I think we're the better team. But as far as the stage, as far as it being the first full speed game, I'm worried about it. I feel like you need to be. Other regular season games, the Chiefs, I would say I'm nervous about them just because of the overall issue that we have. But yeah. And Josh is in them shorts. You're going to set us up for 17-0 run. I got it. It's going to suck watching guys we cut start and probably thrive on other teams. I mean, Nick, you know what? Like, it's bittersweet. It's bittersweet because that's what comes with just having a good team, right? And so it comes just, especially with how competitive each and every single room that we currently have right now, it's going to happen. But, I mean, worst case scenario, it's a lot better than being like a middle of the pack sort of situation and just having to deal with that, which is always rough and unfortunate. John Paulo comes in and says, what will be the longest punt from our new punter? It's good, bro. It's good, Taylor. Is he good? Funny you asked that. I'd say probably about 70 to 80. I'd say probably about 70 to 80 yards, something along those lines. The biggest issue with Arazia was the fact that can he be a holder, right? Because a lot of people are like, yeah, like his punts are great, but can he hold the ball? That's going to be like the number one determining factor on whether or not that he makes this team. But today in practice, apparently he held for Tyler Bass 8 times for a variety of lengths away from the goalpost. Like I'm pretty sure it's like a 30, like all the way down to like a 60. And Bass cleaned them all, and there didn't seem to be an issue with holding whatsoever. So fingers crossed, this guy's going to be an absolute stud. But it's ironic that we have the best punter that came out of that class, but he's probably going to have the least amount of punts out of the entire NFL this year. But that's okay. That's okay. Yeah, we have questions about the roundtable. That is tomorrow night on TD's channel. We have a great announcement too, which is absolutely exciting. We're going to be moving to an entire separate YouTube channel. It's going to be the AFC's roundtable channel for all of us to be able to enjoy our weekly live streams. There's some really cool stuff this year. We're taking it to the next level, ladies and gentlemen. And Jay comes in and he goes, what's good, Dan? And did you see Trey? He's swollen. He looks faster. Dude, I have. And I'm very glad that he's been taking his health seriously, his recovery. And I'm hoping that he's back and healthy at week 1, but only if he's 100%. I'm not an advocate for him rushing back and then him just aggravating that ACL again. But yes, he does look good, and fingers crossed. From what I understand, our secondary has been doing very well in practice so far. Like I said, granted, no pads, right? I'm not going to get overly excited. But sounds like Elam has been doing pretty good. At first, it was hard for him to adjust against, some of our more senior receivers like Diggs or with Gabe Davis. But from what I understand, he made a pretty big play on Diggs either today or yesterday. Looks like Trey looks ready to start for sure. They're not going to push him to play, but I can see it. I mean, it's a long season, right? It's a long season. Say that I was the coach and say that even if he was 100%, probably wait till week 2, man. I mean, just go out there and see what's going on, especially since we invested so heavily within our defensive line. I think that we could probably rely on our defensive line exclusively to really bring home and win us some games. And plus, I mean, we still have the best 2 safeties in the league. So rushing him back, I don't think would necessarily be a huge factor. And Dean says that Master at Work banned him from saying fins up. Tyler Bass is a 77 in the new Madden. Disrespectful. Love the round table. Matt Barkley as the designated holder. No way. Godzilla comes in and says, I came in late, and I hope I'm not asking something that's already been answered, but what have we heard about Tre'Davious? From what I understand, he is progressing well. He's progressing very well. They're not committed to providing an answer yet, though. From what I understand, he's still listed as injured. He's still listed as out. I wouldn't be surprised if he's not back until week 2, week 3. That's where I'm at. I also believe that Edmonds is going to have a breakout year. Jay, I hope so. I really, really hope so. If not, then he's going to miss out on his extension. He really, really is. Sad, but it's just how it is. Looks like Jalen Ramsay is on the PUP list too. Might be week 1. Yeah. I mean, I think that team needs all hands on deck is when it comes out to playing us on Thursday night. And there's going to be a lot of pressure on them, and there's going to be a lot of pressure on everybody watching that game. And if one of the best corners is out, I'm not going to be upset at all. Edmonds never had a consistent front four to work with. All signs point to him going off this season. Let's hope so, man. Let's hope so. And if not, then I think all of us can just finally agree that he's a bust. Is he out of here, Dev?
Yeah, I'm out.
Have fun. Make that money. And so if he doesn't get that new contract from us, it will be from another team that he could thrive on. Yeah, for sure. I mean, not everybody thrives well within the Frazier and McDermott system. But trust me, there's nothing more than I would absolutely love for him to live up to his potential. He's still young. And I know that a lot of other Bills creators are ready to just rip my throat out for even suggesting that he's not a fit. But he's got to prove it. I really don't think that he's shown much outside of a couple of flashes. Oh, man. Beautiful. Well, Del Mafia, listen, I just wanted to hop on here for a brief half hour and talk a little bit about training camp. I'm going to drop a video tomorrow, probably about predicting a particular room of what I think is going to make the final roster. And I'm going to start putting out fantasy football content as well. I know. What a surprise. Okay, so hopefully I'll be able to go ahead and drop 2 videos tomorrow. Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, subscribe to the channel, smash the shit out of that like button, and I'll see you next time, y'all.